Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in celebrating the graduating class of 2015. And please join me in thanking the wonderful band tonight from the New School. From the New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music, we have Ben Seacrest on trumpet. We have Tom Dover on trombone. Joseph Palmer on drums. And Blair Milne also on drums. Before we get started, I just have to call your attention to the fact that we have a few errant balloons this evening. They got a bit overexcited and they've escaped. So you'll notice some of them are hovering precariously close to the light fixtures. Should any of them choose to pop, please don't be alarmed. Consider it a sign of excitement and joy that they were unable to contain. So thank you, and it is now my great pleasure to introduce Mary Watson, Executive Dean of the New School for Public Engagement.
Good evening. It is really my distinct pleasure and, dare I say, thrill to welcome you here tonight. So first, I have to say congratulations to the graduating class of the Bachelor's Program of 2015, and can we have yet another round of applause? So the next thing I want to do as we begin is to recognize your families and friends, those of you who are with us here tonight, those who are joining us remotely from live stream, or those who are simply thinking about you from somewhere else. The graduate success is your success, and your love and support made tonight happen. Thank you for being there, families and friends. And finally, I want to recognize the faculty and staff with whom the graduating class has learned. Your commitment to our students is palpable every day in all that you do, and we all celebrate joyfully with you tonight. So thank you, faculty and staff. So here we go. Nearly 100 years ago, the New School was founded on the principles of open access to education, integration across the liberal arts, humanities, and social sciences, and freedom to explore the issues that captivated the minds, hearts, and dreams of all the learners who enter here. Just over 70 years ago, in 1943, what we now call the Bachelor's Program for Adults and Transfer Students was created for veterans and other adult learners to embrace the flexible learning desires that they had that met them where they were in their lives, and to recognize all the life experiences they brought when they entered the university. Today, the New School continues to engage liberal and applied study, emphasizing the value of creativity and innovation, and reinforcing a focus on self-designed learning. And all of these things are motivated toward the purpose of shaping a better world. And so now you graduates, you're all here today. You're part of a century-long and illustrious lineage of learners, dedicated to the principles that our founders sought, but having lived out these principles in the present day with your intentions firmly engaged, not just in today, but in our collective future. You've each taken many learning journeys during your time at the New School. You've studied what you sought to learn across our areas of study and our majors and across the university, around the city of New York and around the world. You imagined a pathway for yourself before you came here, and then with your faculty advisors and peers and friends, you shaped that pathway. And then when time was appropriate, you reshaped that pathway. And if necessary, you reshaped it again over the course of your time at the New School. So as you stretched and grew, you listened and learned, and you taught others. You were resilient when obstacles presented themselves, and you were imaginative when you changed your course. You soared in your accomplishments, and you celebrated, your co-learners along the way. And now you're here tonight with all of us as a graduate and as a member of our communities and families and as a lifelong learner. So take just a moment to pause, to celebrate and reflect and feel the full experience of being part of this graduating class. Many commencement speakers, and you'll hear others this week, covered on the news. You'll be at the university commencement, perhaps at Javits on Friday, and you'll hear a lot of commencement speakers. And what they often note is that the graduates, yes, you're ready to take on what's ahead. But that's not my message to leave with you tonight. My message is that I know you are already far more than ready because you're already amazingly well practiced at taking on what's ahead. In fact, you took it on what's ahead and did things about it, and you've done it again and again and again. There's a brilliant path that's ahead, and you are all well on it. So as you move forward from today, please know that we here are all with you. The community of the New School and of the bachelor's program in particular are a part of who you've become, and we will be a part of you always. Congratulations. So it's now my pleasure to recognize the first of a number of groups that we're going to recognize tonight from the stage, and that is the Public Engagement Fellows. In the fall of 2012, the School for Public Engagement launched a new student peer leadership program called the Public Engagement Fellowship. Through seminars, community partnerships, work shadowing experiences, and student advocacy, the Public Engagement Fellows have built capacity for student leadership development in our division, across our programs, and in themselves. Their student leadership, the ability to collaborate and shape the new kinds of undergraduate education they've explored, enriches not only our own programs in the New School, but is also shaping the contours of higher education. This fall, in fact, we'll launch a new experimental undergraduate program within the bachelor's program called Cohort 21 that takes the ideas of self-designed learning to its next level. So tonight we want to recognize 7 public engagement fellows in the class of 2015, 4 of whom were in the group that co-created the Public Engagement Fellowship when it was initiated in 2012. So now we'll take a moment to recognize the fellows. So let's see if these folks are in alphabetical order. David Timothy Brown. Congratulations, David. There's a special card for the Public Engagement. Congratulations, David. Kevin Q. Ewing. Christopher Caleb Gorski. Ashanta Jackson. Not here. Ashanta was unable to be with us here tonight, but we'll pass on the award at another venue. So that brings us to Norma Sonia Juarez. Francisca Andrea Sanueza Melendez. And finally, Ariane Jessica Spool. And now it's my great pleasure to return the microphone to Laura Auricchio, Dean of the Bachelor's Program of Adult and Transfer Students. Laura?
Thank you, Mary. And thank you to one and all. I have to say that it is not only a delight, but also a sincere honor to be here with everyone on this very special evening. Now, as you might imagine, given my title, I've attended a fair number of graduations in my time. Some as a degree recipient, some as a guest, some as a speaker, and all graduations are, of course, special. Graduations are wonderful opportunities to mark the tremendous accomplishments of the students in the years that have passed, and to wish the new graduates well in all that life will bring them. But, at the risk of sounding impolitic, I'd like to confess that I believe that the recognition ceremony for the adult bachelor's program is more than special. It's extraordinary. And as you'll learn in the course of this evening, there's no such thing as a typical student in this program. There are only extraordinary students with extraordinary stories. Students come from all over the world, from all walks of life. They enter at all ages, with all sorts of professional backgrounds, from all manner of personal circumstances. And when they come into these classrooms, they bring all of this with them. And thanks to them, our classrooms are extraordinary spaces. They're vibrant places of exchange and debate where faculty like myself serve less as instructors than as facilitators. Our role is never to teach students how to write their stories, but instead to help them find their own next chapters in their own stories, whatever they may be. Now, on a somber note, I have to mention that this year, 2 of those stories were tragically cut short. Prior to the entrance of the band, tonight, the house music that we were listening to was a series of original compositions by bachelor's program student Benjamin Dietz, who was an artist and DJ who tragically passed away last week. Marissa Provenza, a bachelor's program student who is dedicated to the cause of environmental advocacy, died unexpectedly in October. Ben and Marissa are not with us tonight, but we celebrate their lives and their passions through all that we'll be honoring this evening. Thank you. So just as students shape the educational experience in the bachelor's program, so are students rightly front and center in every aspect of tonight's festivities. We'll be hearing remarks from 4 students. Introductory comments come from Gabrielle Guiying Kuhn, born in Wuhan, China, raised in Los Angeles, and then spending her junior year of high school in Beijing. She has a deep interest in all things international. She'll be graduating from the new school, understandably enough, with a degree in global studies. She has a 1.5-year-old son, Simon. I don't know if he's here.
He's the one making noise.
Welcome, Simon, and thank you for cheering on your mom. I turn the microphone over to you.
Hi. Welcome, everyone. As you can hear, my son is here. As a Chinese adoptee of a single Jewish mother, I have struggled a lot with my own identity. I am altogether very non-traditional, especially as a student, even by new school standards. When I originally applied to Eugene Lang, I knew I didn't want to take the traditional college route. At most schools, there's a regimen of required courses and core classes. The new school was founded as and continues to be a progressive institution, offering an inclusive and open intellectual teaching environment where you design your own education. This student-directed curriculum and heavy emphasis on free thinking, discussion-based learning, seemed a perfect fit for me. Having attended a prestigious prep school in Los Angeles, I knew I wanted to be academically and socially challenged. And having lived in Beijing, China for my junior year of high school, I knew I thrived in being independent. What better place to do that than New York City, one of the most diverse and fascinating places in the world? I moved to the Big Apple, full of excitement for my college experience and life to begin, but as fate would have it, New York was not in the cards for long. I did not truly appreciate the value of the lessons I learned at the new school about innovation, creativity, and embracing obstacles until the summer after my freshman year, when I had the life-changing experience of finding out I was pregnant. I was suddenly moving across the country, transferring to the bachelor's program for adults and transfer students with a 9-to-5 job, juggling school online, despite having never taken an online course before in my life, and first-time motherhood, all in pursuance of my bachelor's degree. These past 3 years, I have had incredible teachers who have pushed me every step of the way, whether it be in a classroom in New York, or online in Los Angeles, or on a global studies trip to Rwanda. And I've gained a better understanding and knowledge of international relations and human interaction. I have been challenged to examine the world in a larger socio-political context, to actively think about our part in it, and how to be a more engaged global citizen. In the past, the status quo would have meant indefinitely putting my education on hold. Thanks to truly dedicated and wonderful advisors such as Van Lee, Doris Chang, Alexandra Delano, Jonathan Bach, and Tracy Ann Williams, and many others at the New School, I have been able to graduate a year early. I have been empowered to do the unexpected, adapt to change, absorb and learn despite everything going on in my life. Yeah. And I think that is what the New School is all about. Constantly changing and adapting and bettering itself in order to shape minds to be progressive thinkers in a new age. As bachelor's program students, we are all the epitome of non-traditional. We challenge the status quo. We each have our own stories to tell, our own diverse and varied journeys, and we have all made important choices and faced challenges or adversity and overcome them to arrive here at our graduation. Congratulations, class of 2015.
Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Laura Kronk. Where's Laura? Behind me. Laura is the Associate Director for Undergraduate Curriculum in the School of Writing, and Laura will announce the Auricchio Honors Fellows.
I'm very pleased to present the Auricchio Honors graduates in Writing and Democracy. The talented undergraduate writers in this interdisciplinary honors program are committed to relentlessly refining their thinking and their writing. All of us involved with the Writing and Democracy program believe that this is political work. A central consideration of our program is the idea of the writer in the world. What role does an artist play within a society? How does being a writer impact what it means to be a citizen? Today, we recognize these graduates as they leave the New School Writers in the World. This is an extremely special group, and we will eagerly watch to see all the ways their work will continue to impact our own. Please join me in congratulating this year's honorees. Everyone, please stay on stage. We're going to take a group photo. Haley Whitlock Harden. Daniel G. Husan. Ariane Jessica Spool. Alexis Palmer Zangi. Oh, is anyone taking our picture? Did I make that up? Okay.
Our next student speaker was born and raised in Basel, Switzerland, and has studied film on both coasts of the United States. Before coming to the New School, he completed USC's summer program in the business of film and television and independent feature filmmaking and distribution, and a certificate in the business and management of entertainment at UCLA. And he also attended the New York Film Academy's one-year conservatory program, all before joining us here. Since arriving at the New School, he has consistently been on the Dean's List, and he's landed prestigious and coveted internships in the film industry at Paramount Pictures and the Weinstein Company. Next week, he begins interning at Universal Pictures in Los Angeles. Please join me in welcoming Jean de Meuron.
What have I got myself into here? Because actually when Tracy Ann Williams, that's her, first asked me when she first asked me to give this speech, I rejected her right away, and I said no. And I said, and here's why, because I never dreamed of giving the graduation speech, because like on this very stage we had people like Steven Spielberg, Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, and now someone much less interesting and prolific would be speaking. But I guess it's pretty apparent that I eventually decided to act as a graduation speaker because I figured how hard could it possibly be, or so I thought. And then Tracy Ann asked me to talk about myself and creating my path. But as I sat down to plot out my speech, I found myself wondering what could I say about myself that gratified others? Because this isn't just about me, it's about all of us. Now, more than ever, this was getting really tricky. But then I realized something profound, because no matter what I said about myself, I was also saying something about all of my graduates, my fellow graduates, who I'm sharing this wonderful moment with. I found that we were all here for the same reason. We all wanted to come to the new school in order to graduate from here. It always takes a minute when I'll tell people where I study, as I'm sure you've all experienced. Yeah, thank you, you can relate. So the general consensus always asks, the new school, what is that? And I'm sure some of you tonight are still trying to figure this out, as I am actually still trying to figure this out. Because up until recently, I was struggling to give my parents an adequate explanation of what the new school is, and that also reflects, especially my program. And so first I told them it's a university, but they obviously had already figured that out. And then I told them that it houses Parsons, Tom Ford School. But that explanation didn't do it. So how does one explain the new school, and by extension, the students that make this college what it is? If you direct someone to the website, it will tell you that it's a progressive university where the life experiences of each and every one of us are tremendously embraced and valued. But what does that mean in the lives of us who go here? Well, let me tell you. It means that we're all different and at different stages in our lives, age 20, 30, 40, 50, dreamers, adventure seekers, married, gainfully employed, kids, grandkids, which basically makes for a diverse group of people with 1,000 different perspectives in a sometimes heated classroom where we can all learn and support each other. The New School for Public Engagement, a division of a much larger collective enterprise, caters to those of us who have decided to blaze our own paths, to strike out for ourselves, to boldly experience the unknown. In this way, it's not hard to see how, when I talk about myself, I'm also talking about someone else, you. At the bachelor's program for adult and transfer students, we were given the opportunity to pursue an atypical education, since none of us, no matter the concentration, were seeking a traditional four-year college experience. We all had an entrepreneurial spirit and the desire to create a self-designed program, pursuing our individual passions. And I think this is what drew us to the new school in the first place. I figured out while writing the speech that what brought us here was our desire for the innovative and the exciting. And that is what makes the new school so unique. Each and every one of us was able to tailor our own education to our personal needs. I hope my fellow graduates would all agree that we've experienced something very special at NSPE. I personally found a great home here, one where I met many friends and made invaluable relationships. After the stress, countless hours of work, and few hours of sleep, I think we all embrace this moment here with our beloved friends and families. I personally would like to thank my parents, close friends, all of the faculty, staff, professors, and fellow graduates. And there's one thing that I would like to end this speech with, and that is to reference my favorite movie director, Steven Spielberg. When asked by a journalist what he did, he said, "I dream for a living." And if there's one thing that drew us here, it was our desire to dream up our own education. And as we continue on into our careers, we shouldn't give up and let obstacles hinder the love and passion making for our dreams come true. And even if that means to give a graduation speech at this ceremony. Thank you very much.
everyone. My name is Juana Kennedy. I'm Director of Administration for the Bachelor's Program for Adult and Transfer Students. And it is my pleasure to recognize those students whose academic achievement and professional goals earned the honor of one or more of our 3 scholarships established by generous donors to our school. I'd just like to remind students when you come to the stage to please bring the card for the appropriate honor that you're receiving, because we need it in order to call your name. Okay, and if your name is hard to pronounce, if you would please write it on your card phonetically. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so may I have the first student, please? Thank you. This is not mine. Okay, the first group of students are the Bernard Osher Foundation Reentry Scholarship, which targets high-achieving undergraduates, adults ages 25 and up, who return to finish their degrees after being out of school for several years. So our first Osher recipient is Joseph M. Garafa? Yes. Thank you. Khalid A. Hazik. Thank you. Tanya Pendleton. Marianne Willoughby. Alexis Palmer Zangi. Okay, hold on. So the next group of scholars is for the Jacobson Newcomb Scholarship for Mature Women Students who receive the scholarship as women 25 and older who are returning to college to complete their degrees. The first one is Ariane Jessica Spool. Is anyone else here for that award? Okay. And the last one is the Kirshner Fellowship, which is for students who are in the performing arts. It's the Joan Howard Kirshner Memorial Scholarship in Theater and Performing Arts, and it assists students training for careers in the performing arts. And our Kirshner Scholar this year is Grace Gornall, who lives in Northern California, so she is not here with us today. The other Osher Fellows who were not here today, I believe, were Janine Diouf, Kathian Simpson McNally, Nicholas David Turner, and then the Jacobson students who were not here were Haley Chancellor, Nicole Guerra, Ashwanta Jackson, Yumi Zhang, Lauren Kathleen Jonick, Tanya Pendleton, and Ariane Jessica Spool, who was here. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. So now I'm pleased to introduce Megan Boyle. Born and raised in Texas, Megan Boyle attended the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, as did many of her colleagues here. And she also attended Houston Community College before coming to the New School. She's worked in acting and entertainment, notably in the original cast of Hairspray on Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas. And while taking both online and on-site classes at the New School, she worked full-time as a production manager for a technology company offering webcasting and web streaming services, and participated, I'm told, in the 3-time New York City Karaoke League reigning championship team, whose name appears to be Slappin' to Bass Clef. On Friday, she and her husband are finally going on their honeymoon to Mexico.
I'm ready to go. All right, can we just take a moment and realize how amazing it is that we are all sitting together in this room tonight? And that statement, like several of us have already said, is not just for those of us who are graduating, but it's for everyone who's in this room. Life is a gift, and we all come from different walks of life. And to see that we accomplished something that we set out to do should not be taken lightly. In this case, some of us in this room are being honored because we finished our undergraduate studies at the new school. But there's something I want all of us in this room to remember. It is your story that brought you here tonight, and it's your story that's going to continue when you walk out those doors. So what is my story? You guys kind of got a little snippet of it already. You might be wondering why I'm dressed like this. So, this is my life while I was at the new school. They tell you you can't wear your wedding dress twice. Getting my money's worth here, people. So just let me back up for a second. I graduated from the American Musical and Dramatic Academy 10 years ago. Yes! And I had the dream, I still have the dream, of having experiences and living life to the fullest, because this life is too short. And acting took me to places I never thought possible, some embarrassing, some worth talking about, and of course there was always a good story to tell. But I found that my dreams changed in priority on a cold February night, when on a corner in the East Village, I met someone who would later become my husband. That change in priorities made me realize I no longer necessarily wanted to focus on acting all the time, but I wanted to focus on starting a family of my own and sharing the love of our family with those around us. And that switch in priorities is what brought me here to the new school. In the middle of wedding planning, mind you. I knew I needed to further my education in order to reach those goals and to just reach the world on a broader level. 2 months before I started at the new school, my mom was rushed to the hospital with kidney failure. We all dread that phone call that we get. That one phone call from my dad changed my life. And guilt started to seep in, and I thought to myself, I shouldn't go back to school. I shouldn't plan a wedding. I should focus on other things. Family and health are the most important things in life, and why am I being selfish right now? After a rough, long, stressful, tearful, possibly borderline psychotic 2 years, I am pleased to say that obviously we're graduating tonight, and that my mom, even though she does have a rare kidney disease and she suffers from a stroke, she is healthy and getting healthier every day. And they couldn't be here tonight for obvious reasons, my parents, but they are watching the live stream, so thank you for live stream. And I can guarantee you right now, my dad is screaming at the computer, "Way to go, Megs!" Even though no one can hear him, he's convinced you guys can hear him right now. Somehow, giving up on school wasn't an option for me. My husband, my parents, my in-laws, my friends, everyone supported me through this whole journey. And I can only hope that you all shared the same support system. And somehow, during this time, you make it work. You don't have a choice. And I know everyone in this room, regardless if you're graduating tonight or not, you've had to make it work. So I remind myself that when I get nervous about the future and how I'm going to pay for student loans. We'll make it work. So looking back, even though there was a lot going on in life, and there was just too much going on in life, the best part about the new school was they got it. I will also admit, as you guys know, I did keep my sanity by singing on a competitive karaoke team. Which is actually just right around the corner from here, believe it or not. You see, the new school is different because you don't have to pretend there's nothing going on in life. You can have difficult discussions here and be transparent because that's the real world. Life doesn't stop, so why should it stop just because you're in school? I would not have kept up with everything going on in life if it hadn't been for the new school. And more specifically, this program, the Bachelor's Program for Adults and Transfer Students, which was founded on enabling and encouraging people to live their lives, get their education, and make a difference in the world. So if I learned anything about my time here, it's that there's always a story to tell in any situation. Don't take a single experience or story or person for granted. Each one of your stories is beautiful, and that's what got you here. Right here to this moment. Our challenge now is to tell the stories of those who maybe can't be heard or are not given the same opportunities as we are. So please just savor this moment, enjoy life, continue to work hard, and always stay true to your story. Congratulations, class of 2015. Let's start the next chapter.
It's a tough act to follow, even with simply an introduction. But thank you. So please join me now in welcoming Michelle Mater, Michelle is Director of Curriculum and Associate Professor in the School of Media Studies, and she will read the names of the honor students.
Indeed, it is my pleasure and honor to congratulate our entire class of 2015. One more round of applause. And to honor these students that are coming on the stage now who have received special honors because somehow or another, in addition to all these amazing things that they do with their lives, which we just heard about, they've managed to maintain a 3.7 grade point average. Maria Mercedes Ayala Patino. Congratulations. Edward Andrew Bartel. Congratulations. Carmen Lucia Borla. Molly Brunk. Congratulations, Molly. Victoria Cotino. Congratulations. A little bit backlog here.
Alphabetization, is that the word?
Alphabetization.
That's the word. We're having some problems with the alphabet. We'll be right with you. What do you say? I shake your hand and we'll get you.
There we go. Alicia Lauren Darhut. Congratulations. Alicia, that's Alicia.
They'll get me there.
Deborah Ferraro. Congratulations. Yeah, you're up there again. Something happens. They always get out of order. I don't know how the hell. How that happens? I don't know. We just like having you guys up here longer anyway. Okay. We do have it. Congratulations, Deborah. Joseph Garefa. Congratulations, Joseph. Again. Kristen Gibson. Congratulations, Kristen. Congratulations. Oliver Hummel. Thank you. Marina Kubo. Carrie Lacey. Aaron Livney. Little sidetrack there. Matilda de los Milagros Londono Jaramillo. Congratulations. Chris, you've got some fans back here. Christopher Lowell. Ariel Meckler. Congratulations, Ariel. Christina Therese Melgard. Congratulations. Emerald Elizabeth Cartwright Mitchell. Gina Roseanne Pastorello. I know this person. Good to see you, Tanya Pendleton. Congratulations. Carolina Pereira. Livia Santos. Congratulations, you too. Michael Salembene. Hi, congratulations. Thank you. Peter John Sheik. Congratulations. Jessica Silver. Congratulations. Simone Stevens. Hi, congratulations. Fanny Sturen. Hillary Irene Timms. Congratulations. Marianne Willoughby. Hey, congratulations, Tiffany. Tiffany Liana Williams. Alfred Putnam Lowell Womack. Back up here. Megan Boyle. Yay, Megan. Gabrielle Gewing Kuhn. Can I get over here? It's okay. I don't know this person. David Brown. Give me a hug, give me a hug, give me a hug. David Timothy Brown, sorry. And Kevin Q. Ewing. Congratulations. Congratulations again. Christopher Caleb Gorski. Congratulations. Hi. Francisca Andrea Suenhuza Melendez. Ariane again. Ariane Spool. Haley Whitlock Harden. Congratulations. Congratulations, Daniel. Daniel G. Huson. Alexis Palmer Zagni. And last but not least, Jean Dumeron. Congratulations.
And now I know that everyone will be delighted to help me welcome Director of Academic Advising, Tracy Ann Williams. Who will call the names of all graduating students.
Oh, yes. Wow. What an accomplishment. You've achieved this bachelor's degree while juggling multiple personal, family, work responsibilities. This is no easy feat. I have the distinct pleasure, as you've heard, of announcing all of your names. The line you form in preparation to cross the stage should be orderly. But please, let that be one of a few orderly moments, only a few orderly moments at this portion of the evening. I would like to suggest, if spirit moves you, to dance across the stage, to do a flourish, perhaps, wave excitedly to your people in the audience, and family, friends, loved ones, and hangers-on, please cheer for your graduates. This is your moment too. Congratulations. Come on up. Kevin Q. Ewing. Christopher, thank you. He's setting the tone. Christopher Caleb Gorski. Norma Sonia Juarez. Francisca Andrea Sanjueza Melendez. Ay, 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 ay. You don't want your middle name? I'm going to do it. Ariane Jessica Spool. Haley Whitlock Harden. Daniel G. Husan. Alexis Palmer Zangi. Joseph Michael Garefa. Khalid A. Hazik. Tanya Pendleton. Marianne Willoughby. Maria Mercedes Ayala Patiño. Edward Andrew Bartell. Carmen Lucia Borla. Molly Brunk. Victoria Catino. I like this. Alicia Dorhout. Deborah Ferraro. Kristen Gibson. Oliver Hummel. Marina Kubo. Carrie Lacey. Eran Livney. Matilde de los Milagros Lodoño Jaramillo. Christopher Lowell. Ariel Meckler. Christina Therese Meligard. Emerald Elizabeth Cartwright Mitchell. Gina Roseanne Pastorello. Carolina Pereira. She did a skip and a turn, people. Just putting it out there. Livia Sa dos Santos. Michael James Salambain. Hey, baby. How are you? How are you doing? Good to see you again. Of course. Peter John Sheik. Good to see you. Jessica Silber. Simone Stevens. Fanny Sturin. Hillary Irene Timms. Tiffany Liana Williams. Congratulations. Alfred Putnam Lowell Womack. Sonia Benatar Rosenberg. Karen Sapelli. Samantha Sigler. Peter Fitzgerald Smith. Jenna Sophia Smith. Michael Thorburn. John William Townsend. Aiden Eric Triola. Rose Wang. Chaz, oh, they're still cheering. Chaz Michael Kenneth Warnstaff. Kat Ye. Yinan Zhang. Hey, Anthony. How you doing? How are you, my friend? Thank you. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much. Anthony M. Butler! Omar Nadal Abu Hantash. Serena Bateman. Amanda Bernhardt. Dayana Blackwell. Ansel Bodelson. That's what I thought. Farrell Judith Bonner. Lindsay Braverman. Delon L. Burnside. Marcus Gask. Indeed. Grace Goldstein. Guy Greenberg. Elizabeth C. Grupp. Robert Ryan Hallis. It's just a little comic relief. It's okay. It's okay. No liability. Maximilian Aaron Keene. Muhammad Badrul Hisham bin Ismail. Leslie Kenyatta King. John J. Magalhaes. Arden Michno. Okay, I can do that. Rodney Morton Jr., AKA Caleb McLeese. Carlos Andre Nichols. Azora Paknad. Stephanie Parker. I'm saying to a lot of folks, it's nice to meet you in person because we have very elaborate email love relationships, and I never see you in person, and then all of a sudden here you are all prettied up, and I'm like, oh my God, it's you. You really exist. Amira Narcissus Perkins. Flynn Rodham. Eric C. Rosario. Thing going on over there. Gabby Kuhn. Please. Megan Boyle. Jean de Mouron. And David Timothy Brown. Indeed. I have been given his wallet because I guess this is symbolic of what I have done to him.
So shall we have one final round of applause for all the graduates? And now, without dampening any of the enthusiasm, I have to ask you to lower your balloons so the folks behind you can see. Thank you. Our concluding remarks come from one David Timothy Brown. Native New Yorker and U.S. military Gulf War I era veteran. Dave performed the majority of his service in Frankfurt, Germany, and was there to witness firsthand the fall of the Berlin Wall. Dave's official return to higher education came a few years after his discharge when he went to CUNY's LaGuardia Community College, where he earned his AS in Business Administration and was honored with Phi Theta Kappa membership. 3 years later, he joined us here at the New School, and the rest has been history. Upon graduating from the New School, Dave will be finding a way to connect his love of literature, American constitutional law, writing, philosophy, martial arts, and sports strategy into an as yet to be named career field. But if anyone can create and name such a field, Dave can.
They told me the free food would be up here. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2015. Today it's a celebration of all that you have accomplished so far and an invitation to the emerging challenges that await. Today, we refute all the naysayers, or in the common urban vernacular, haters, who said we were wasting our time and, more importantly, our money pursuing higher education. Today is for all those who attempted to derail our progress and stunt our growth by advocating the maintenance of the status quo and spinning our intellectual wheels by occupying the educational lane that they have chose for us. Today, we proudly acknowledge and embrace that we did not earn our undergraduate degrees in the traditional way. We earned them in the fashion that we always do things, our own way. I know that my personal journey to the New School was fueled by the same thing that informed my academic interests and concentration, my love of literature. I have a fetish for books, and so you can find me at any time, any place that's selling books, I'm there. So it's only natural that I attend all the city's book festivals and book fairs. 3 years ago at the Brooklyn Book Festival, I did something that I never do. I took a flyer that's been giving out to passersby. Yes, I'm that typical native New Yorker who considers the offer to take something from someone I don't know offensive. Not only should you not hand anything to me, but you should gather from my demeanor that you should never even think about handing anything, much less a flyer, to me. I believe I can attribute this attitude concerning this from the sentiment offered to me by my father while we were walking from 34th Street to the circus when I was 5 years old. My father responded to my confused and careful look at his calculated evasion of men attempting to hand things to him with, if they're giving something away, that means it's not worth anything. Don't even waste time considering what they have to offer. So, when I arrived at the Brooklyn Book Festival in 2011 and ascended the J Street Borough Hall train station in Brooklyn Heights, I saw a table offering copies of the literary journal 12th Street, and I openly rebelled against the paternal instructions that were given to me to protect me from a lifelong agony and disappointment. I quickly made haste to the stand before the supply was exhausted. When I arrived at the table, I was expecting to purchase a copy at a discounted price. Much to my surprise, they were offering it free of charge. So it was only natural that I took the accompanying literature so I wouldn't be disrespectful. After receiving my copy of 12th Street, I went about enjoying the rest of the festivities by purchasing a few more titles that I couldn't afford and didn't need. As usual, it was not until I arrived at home that I decided to evaluate what I had purchased. The first thing I noticed after emptying my full backpack was a large informational flyer from the New School's Bachelor's program. Over the previous several months, before attending this particular book festival, I had been desperately searching for an undergraduate degree program that was welcoming and sensitive to returning older students and working students like myself. Much to my surprise, this program for adult transfer students appeared to be exactly what I wanted. Now that the flyer had piqued my interest, I decided to visit the university's website so I could gather more information. Immediately upon reaching the department's landing page, I read a statement that catalyzed my registration for the next information session and my subsequent enrollment. Design your own program. Because of the entirety of my higher educational journey, up to that point had restricted my intellectual curiosity to a narrow menu of core curriculum courses and even less appetizing so-called electives, a program offering a non-traditional college experience was a welcome departure from the norm. Could it be true? I wasn't sure, but this jaded New Yorker was curious enough to check it out for himself. Within 48 hours, I attended an information session to get a feel for the programs. Get a feel for the program. I'm actually kind of torn up just thinking about it. Still thinking about it. The school's representative at the event, Merida, provided detailed information that reiterated what was expressed in the flyer. I had such a wonderful experience that time on that Tuesday event that I registered and came to another one on Thursday. That one was led by Michelle Mater, who would teach the race, ethnicity, and class and media class that I eventually took. By Friday of that same week, I had gathered the required documents and finished writing my application essays for submission. Who would have ever believed that I would go from complete ignorance of the bachelor's program for adult and transfer students to an applicant in less than a week? I sure wouldn't have. Remember, I called myself a typical New Yorker. However, I can tell you that that was the best and the most important decision I made in the last 20 years. After speaking to others about their ways and they have founded a new school, I found out that my trip here wasn't unique. As a matter of fact, it was typical. I'm just one of many others who desired to complete a degree at an institution that understood and catered to my needs. It was this need that continued to have continued input and positive impact in our education that led us to the new school, and most specifically to the bachelor's program. At this university, we not only found a place that valued and nurtured the expression of our individual voices, but also one that always encouraged and ultimately demanded we add ours to the chorus resonating from the university's past and present to improve and inform our existing and emerging communities. So today, as we gather to celebrate the class of 2015, we understand that we have been preparing for this day since we first enrolled, and that we graduate into something profound the moment that first course met. As we humbly concede the need for vocational aspects in our education, we did not enroll at the new school to find and fill jobs. We enrolled at the new school with the intentions of creating them. We are not a group of students, we're not a group that waits for opportunities to present themselves. We choose to go forward and make chances in the spaces we desire. Included in the bargain of this creativity, we promise to bring along others who are prepared to energize and ride the wave of social change for the better. Today, we honor our commitment to contemplate, envision, and develop objects and processes to construct a world that is more empathetic, truly inclusive, and ecologically sustainable. So today, as we move forward along the journey of life, we offer ourselves for the difficult work ahead. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2015.
Thank you, Dave. It now gives me particular joy to introduce two colleagues, Bea Banyu, Chair of Food Studies, and Melissa Friedling, Director of Undergraduate Programs in the School of Media Studies. They will be recognizing the first students to graduate from with the new Food Studies and Media Studies majors.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to invite the first ever Food Studies graduates to get up and come over to the stage while I tell you just a little about the Food Studies program. In fall of 2015, the Regents of the State of New York gave permission to the new school to offer the opportunity to our students to major in food studies. Those who choose that particular pathway can concentrate in culture, media and communication, health and environment, or policy and politics. I would like to actually invite now my colleague Fabio Parasecoli, Director of Food Studies Initiatives, and the guy who cooked up this program to join me. Fabio. All right. Because we actually want to congratulate well, 4 of our first 6 graduates. 2 of them couldn't be here, but I will mention their names: Alida Laila Borgna and Henry Leo Rubin. So they can't join us, but these can, actually. So the first is Christina Therese Melagard. Congratulations. Then we have Francisca Andrea Sanuesa Melendez. One more time. Then Fanny Micaela Margareta Sturin. Actually, Francesca and Fanny were the first ever. They graduated in January and are joining us here. And then Catherine Chia-Ning-Ye. Congratulations to all our new food studies graduates.
Hello. Following up on B, in the spring of 2015, actually this semester, the state of New York gave the new school permission to offer our students the opportunity to earn a BA or a BS in media studies. And the students in media studies would be able to select an option to concentrate in 5 areas: screenwriting, media and social change, cinema studies, media and entrepreneurship, or film production. And they may also choose self-design. Many of you already took a lot of media studies, but we have one student who actually completed in 1 semester. And I congratulate this first graduate with a BA in Media Studies and a concentration in screenwriting, Caitlin Epperson. She's not here, but hello, live stream. Media.
So thanks once more to all of our speakers and guests, and congratulations to all of the amazing graduates. Now, I'd like to ask our guests to please remain at your seats. You can stand up, but please remain at your seats until all the students are out of the theater. This ceremony will conclude in a few moments, but the festivities are just getting started. We hope you'll join us for a reception in Woolman Hall, located on the 5th floor of 65 West 11th Street, just across the courtyard. And please note that if Woolman gets a little too crowded, there's also refreshments in the overflow space in the courtyard. So graduates, please rise and follow the band.
Everything.